Howdy y'all, and welcome to a new video. If I sound congested, that's because I am congested. And if you can hear like nail gun sounds at the background, that's because there's construction happening around me. And yeah, hello, my name is Karen, and unfortunately, and I'll be your friend for today as you draw. Bring out your fucking sketchbook. Did you do it? Okay, great. Hi. My last chatty sketch with me video did surprisingly well. I was just merely talking out of my ass, but here we are with numero dos. I actually had to find my microphone because if y'all don't follow me on social media, primarily Instagram, I am currently getting ready to move for the first time in my fucking life. Very exciting, very nerve-wracking, but here we are. I am 24 and I have to move out of my parents' house eventually, which is nothing wrong with living with your parents' house. Honestly, I recommend it if you want to fucking save money, but I'm ready to embark on a new journey and I'm very excited. But I actually did lose my microphone, my Blue Yeti mic for a bit, and I was like, fuck, where did I put it? And I didn't want to record through my MacBook microphone because I think it's whack, but we found it. It was in a tote bag, so let's get started. I'm mostly gonna be talking about shows, movies, and music. A lot of music, a little bit of movies and shows. No books because I haven't really been reading. Actually, that's false. That's very false. The only book that I've been reading truly is The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I think that's what it's called, by Mark something. It's like an orange book. You can't miss it in the self-improvement books. But that's I've never enjoyed a book so much. Granted, I haven't read a lot of books in my life, but it's also my first self-improvement book that I've ever read, and it's actually helped me. Shocker, right? But I definitely recommend giving it a try if you overthink things or overanalyze things. Or I totally recommend it if you want to see a new perspective of things. There's a lot of examples within the book, and yeah, other than that, this video is not sponsored by anybody, unfortunately, but here we are. Okay, so the first shows, first I'll get on to is shows, and the first one, I have been waiting. I wait every year for this show to come out with a new season, and it's called Never Have I Ever. So here's the synopsis. Summary? Not summary. After a traumatic year, an Indian American teen just wants to spruce up her social status, but friends, family, and feelings won't make it easy on her. So she just wants to be cool in her after something that happens to her within the show, the beginning of the show, and so she tries to be like hip and cool like the rest of the kids, and you know, she goes through like a series of obstacles, and I've never hated a main character so much. Actually, that is false. If you have ever seen Silicon Valley, Richard, I think that's his name, he's so fucking stupid. I swear to God, I fucking hate that main character is never hated one so much. But I think her name is Devi. Devi is the main character of the show. You're gonna hate her if you watch this show. I highly recommend it, especially if you're into like a kind of like comedy drama type of shows. I'm surely into it, even though I'm like 24 and not in high school obviously anymore. I don't know, I just love dramatic shows, leading to my next one, which is High School Musical, the series. Now listen Linda, you can't knock it till you try it. At first I thought, I was like, nah, this is for like the youth, you know. I think when this came out, I started watching it when I was like 21, 22, and I was like, I don't know, who's Olivia Rodrigo? I don't know her. Who's the other guy? Sebastian, I don't fucking, Joshua something. Didn't know who they were, but then I kept seeing clips of it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go. I really liked High School Musical growing up, so let's see how it goes. I fucking binged that shit in one night. I kid you not. It was so juicy. It was like, oh my god, when is the second season coming out? Then it came out with the second season, and my fucking heart, bro. I felt for Olivia Rodrigo, her character in that show. I was like, I'm feeling Olivia Rodrigo. And then I also love her music too. So she has a beautiful voice. They all have their own beautiful voices. I recommend that show so much. If you got Disney Plus, I don't know if it shows on like Disney Channel or some shit. I don't even watch cable. I haven't watched cable in a minute. minute. Recommend it to anyone who also so Never Have I Ever and High School Musical, the series. Definitely recommend those two if you are into like those like high school drama shows. Very cute. But High School Musical is more like kiddie, and then Never Have I Ever is more like adult. They're not afraid because it's a Netflix original, while the other one is a Disney original, so they still gotta maintain their image of being like keeping it PG. Next one is Boo Bitch. This is also a kind of like high school drama-y series, or it's actually just one season, unfortunately, but it's also a Netflix original, and it basically, two senior BFFs make a last-ditch attempt to be seen, but when one of them becomes a ghost, she'll need to really live her best life while she can. So things happen, and you know, one of them dies, but like weirdly enough, she's still like present in like life. Like people can still see her and all this stuff. And I think I also binged this show within a day, or yeah, it was definitely within a day. I fucking cried so many times in this show because it was so well written. At first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this show. Like I was always thrown off by the cover. I know I love the actress who plays in it. I forgot her name. She was in To All the Boys I've Loved, Lana Condor. It was honestly just an amazing show. Deals with like, again, the same concept of being popular before you like leave high school and leaving this like image or whatever, and which is a stupid concept because like being cool, being popular does not fucking matter. And especially in high school, like no hate, but a little bit of hate, because I wasn't really popular in high school. I was just like middle. I did not give a fuck. I was just the artsy student, obviously, as I'm drawing, and I never really cared about like my popularity status, to be honest. I was just living my life, hanging out with my friends that were actually like real friends and not like fake as fuck. But I would see a lot of like the popular kids at the time. Some of them, they're still living in my hometown. I mean, I know I'm living in my own town too, but I am moving into the city, so like that's a huge step for me. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of like popular kids that are like think I'm gonna be popular forever, they peak in high school. So there's nothing crazy about being popular. Of course there are other people who are genuine people within like the popular, like the jocks and cheerleaders, whatever the fuck. Maybe they will end up somewhere, but if you continue to be an asshole, that shit will bite you right back in the ass. It's all about the outcasts. It's all about the antisocial people, because now you see them outcast fucking making millions, streaming, doing music. How often do you see popular people? I'm kidding. Listen, do whatever you want. If you're popular, if you're not popular, I don't give a fuck. Just be nice, don't be an asshole, and do great things. Okay, great. The next two shows actually are K-dramas. The first one is Today's Webtoon. So this show is called Today's Webtoon, which is based off of a manga, I believe. Yes, it's based on the manga series Juhan Shutai. Don't know if I'm saying that right. First published November 2011 in monthly Japanese shonen manga. And yeah, Omaum, I think is her name, used to be a judo athlete. Her life revolved around the sport, but an injury ended her career in judo. She then got her first job in a webtoon editorial department. She had a hard time adjusting to her job as a webtoon editor and the people at her work. Through all the difficulties she faced, Omaum grows as a person and a webtoon editor. First of all, the actress in this show is, what's her name? Kim Si-jong. I don't know. I'm like reading the romanized name, so if I saw the Hangul. Anyways, yeah, she was in Business Proposal and a bunch of other K-dramas, but the one I like freshly remember her from is from Business Proposal, which is on Netflix. Give it a try. This one unfortunately isn't on Netflix. It's on Viki, which is like a Asian drama platform for watching Asia dramas. Definitely recommend it. This one I only watched with my brother. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to catch up because we only watched like 3 episodes, and he's off going to school every day or working every day, so he doesn't have time to come over my house anymore. And especially since I'll be moving this week, we definitely will not see each other until like holidays and stuff, which is unfortunate. But I will try to have lunch with him when he's at school in the city. But yeah, it's really interesting to see, like, I don't know if this is very accurate, but to see the perspective of, you know, like what happens behind the scenes of webtoons. You know, it's not just drawing, but like you have like publishers and managers or whatever the fuck, and you know, having to meet these deadlines and all the different personalities and characters of each artist. It's kind of like interesting. So highly recommend that. Now the second drama that I recommend is Big Mouth. This one is on Disney Plus in Korea. This one is in Disney Plus in Korea. If or in a lot in Asia actually, just not in the United States. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of K-dramas or Korean anything on the US Disney Plus. But if you got a VPN, use that shit, or you could just use like those websites that have like ads like Christine is 2 miles away from you and would like to speak to you. This is like the comeback series for Lee Jong-suk, Lee Jong-suk. I'm trying to pronounce better. Which, if you don't know, oh my god, you need to get on your shit because he is so fine. He was originally a model, but then like he became an actor or something, I believe. And I've been watching his dramas since the start that I like started watching K-dramas and listening to K-pop. Like I've been with him since forever, and he just recently came back from the military, so very excited to see all like his works that he's been working on in the past couple of months. This drama is more like dramatic, not as much funny as the other one. So the synopsis is Park Chung-ho is known since his school days as Big Mouth because he talks big and promises big things but cannot follow up to it. He is also an infamous lawyer with a very low rate of success who was hired by a mayor because of his incompetence. Unfortunately, he was framed as the notorious mysterious swindler Big Mouse and sent to prison. Go Mi-ho is Park Chung-ho's loving wife who works as a nurse. She has a strong personality and will do anything to prove the innocence of her husband and help solve the case the mayor has given to her husband. Will Go Mi-ho be successful at proving her husband's innocent, or will investigations lead to opening a can of worms? I hate like kind of like it's not as actiony, but it's more like criminal type of dramatic. I like fruity ass fucking K-dramas. I like to see the romance grow within the season. But I gave this show a shot because of my mans, and I started watching this with my mom, and the first episode me and her did not like, and she doesn't really like the main actor that much. She says he's not a great actor, and I'm like, shut up, like, bro, stop talking shit about my mans. And after the second episode though, we were like, all right, let's get to the third episode, the fourth episode. We binge watched like 4 episodes that same day. And so yeah, we've been trying to be consistent with it. Yeah, we we fucking love that shit. If there's a K-drama that I highly recommend, it's that one. It's very fucking confusing at some points because you're trying to like figure out like who framed Park Chung-ho and all this shit. So we're all like, that's Big Mouse. No, that's Big Mouse. No, that's Big Mouse. No, that's Big Mouse. And then it's just like plot twist after plot twist, and you're like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Who is Big Mouse? Please. My mom's like every other 10 minutes, that's Big Mouse. I fucking bet you that's Big Mouse. And I'm like, that's not Big Mouse. 10 minutes later, that's not Big Mouse. But highly recommend that show if you're really into like criminal type of dramatic, like drama type of dramas. Complete opposite of today's webtoon. So that's all the shows that I've watched recently since my last talk with you. I hope you guys are still fucking drawing. If you're not drawing, well, it's been like 20 minutes within this video. Why aren't you drawing? Bring that shit out. So next segment is movies. Again, I haven't seen a lot, but I'll try my best. Actually, yesterday, I think in the last video, I said that I wanted to watch the Wong Kar-wai, I think is his name, his movies, the directors. So I watched majority of Chungking Express. I didn't finish it, but I had to stop because my brain was like so confused because there's two different stories, but the first one really made no fucking sense to me. But cinematically, it was beautiful. I love the way he filmed it. The plot or the story just wasn't adding up. I was like, okay, he's getting over someone, but what does any of this have to do? Like, I was genuinely confused. But I'm gonna try to finish it maybe later today or later this week and see what's that up about. But cinematically, beautiful. Story-wise, I don't know. The second movie is Not Okay, which at first I thought it was just like one of those like cringy movies that like a lot of like say like Netflix or Hulu or like, you know, the platforms make, and it's like not that great. It was actually fucking phenomenal. I watched this also with my mom. I watch a lot of movies and shows with my moms. So it's an American satirical black comedy drama film written and directed by Quinn Shepard. Stars Zoe Dutch, I think is her name, as a young woman who desperately wants to be famous and beloved on the internet, only for her efforts to lead to her mistakenly gaining fame as a survivor of a tragedy. This movie had me on the edge of my seat because I was like, you really pretended to be part of this like traumatic disaster to gain fame. Now she knew, she was aware that she did what she did was wrong, but throughout the movie she accepts it because like she noticed that a lot of people, she was getting attention and she was an attention whore, and she never was able to get that beforehand. So after she got a taste of that, she was like, I mean, what's wrong with like, you know, keep going on with it, and like shit happens. And it really does reflect to like today's world and, you know, some social matters that happen within the movie that actually happens in our society, our reality, especially within the US. It's fucking wild and it's phenomenal. Like I highly 10 out of 10 movie. Hulu, you did amazing. what was the director's name? I forget her name. Whatever. Quinn Shepard, you did fucking amazing. Recommend that movie. Next movie is The Shape of Water. It is a romance / fantasy. Who is this? Oh, Guillermo del Toro. That's the guy who directed this, which I really love his films. I think he did Pan's Labyrinth. No, he didn't. Maybe he did. So, at a top secret research facility in the 1960s, a lonely janitor forms a unique relationship with an amphibious creature that is being held in captivity. So yeah, like, it's a fucking phenomenal film. And the thing is, like, with Guillermo del Toro, his movies are never really appreciated until like years later after he has like published it. And which is so unfortunate because then he doesn't make a lot of money with like in box office or something. This is what I've learned throughout, like, this is what I've been told. But if it is true, that's unfortunate because his films are phenomenal. I know that he has done other movies such as oh yes, he did do Pan's Labyrinth, Shape of Water. There was other ones, but I can't see. What movies did he do? Oh, he did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It was okay. Crimson Peak, 10 out of 10. He did Mama. Pacific Rim, The Book of Life, which is an animated film, which I fucking loved. Pan's Labyrinth, like I said before. Hellboy. The Orphanage. I don't remember watching that. And yeah, he's done a lot of movies throughout his career. Hellboy, yeah. Anyways, recommend that movie to anyone who likes like fantasy type of shit. And you get to see like this big chungo fish man. Next one is When Harry Met Sally. I have mixed opinions about this movie, as I do with a lot of movies made in the 90s, because I actually haven't seen this movie in like a year or two, but I wanted to put it in the list because, you know, fall is like creeping up, and I think it's like such a nice fall movie. I don't know if it came out during the fall, but it's a vibe. So this is like a romantic film. Hold on. When Harry Met Sally. I'm Googling shit. Harry Met Sally. Sally. Yes. It was filmed in 1989, which I actually didn't know, but that makes sense because the lady Meg Ryan was in it. And if you don't know Meg Ryan, I don't know Meg Ryan either. Now, she was in a lot of movies back in the day. She was very popular. She was in Top Gun. Yep. She was a lady in Top Gun. That's Meg Ryan. If you don't know what Top Gun is, where have you been? So the story follows the title characters from the time they meet in Chicago just before sharing a cross-country drive. Through 12 years of chance encounters in New York City, the film addresses but fails to resolve questions along the lines of, can men and women just ever be friends? The only thing that I don't like about this movie, there's not a lot of POC, people of colors. Whoever doesn't know what that means. But I feel like that was pretty fucking evident within a lot of like 80s, like 90s movies. So like none of like the main characters were really a POC, and I don't know, like at first it didn't cross my mind when I watched like movies like those like that. I have a friend who's really against watching these movies because that's like what it was. That's what she sees when she sees like a lot of movies that have a majority of white casted actors. She's like, I don't really care for them, to be honest. I don't know. Genuinely, I like watching good movies, so I'll still watch them. But now I've become more evident of like, you're right. There are no minorities in this film. But maybe there is. I honestly don't remember. But I feel like there wasn't any POC. That's my only take on that movie. But overall, the plot and stuff, it was beautiful. Like, I highly recommend it. Anyways, now we're gonna get to The House of Gucci, which I watched a couple weeks ago with my mums and my brother. It stars Lady Gaga, Jared Leto, and Adam Driver, Al Pacino, Salma Hayek, good amount of people that you may recognize. Don't really give a shit about Jared Leto, but that's just me. I don't know how accurate like everything is in the movie, but it is based on the true story of the family of Gucci, and which, if you don't know Gucci, well, they're the people that make like the bags and shit, the luxury brand. So when Patricia, I'm not gonna say that last name because I'm gonna fucking butcher the shit out of it, an outsider from humble beginnings marries into the Gucci family, her unbridled ambition begins to unravel their legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder. So the House of Gucci is inspired by the family empire behind the Italian fashion house of Gucci. When Patricia, an outsider from humble beginnings, marries into the Gucci... Oh, okay, I'm just rereading the same shit over and over again. But, yeah, it's based on their actual life. And Lady Gaga, I would say, and Adam Driver did a fucking phenomenal job. Kylo Ren, beautiful, my guy, beautiful. Just the tension between the two, and yeah, that's all I can say. The only thing I will say about this movie though is it was so slow paced. Like, that movie, I thought it was like 2 hours. It felt like 3 hours. Eventually, my brother had to go back home, and he was like, bro, when is this movie gonna end? I'm like, I don't know. But it was a pretty solid movie. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Mostly because I feel like they could have like condensed it more. But it will never be as bad and long and agonizing as The Eternals. I'm sorry, but whoever liked The Eternals, I'm not gonna say anything, but I hated The Eternals. Now the last movie that I have in store is Lightyear, which is basically Buzz Lightyear. Yay! I have always loved Toy Story. I grew up watching Toy Story. My favorite one is Toy Story 2. And personally, I'm a Woody kind of gal, but Buzz Lightyear has his moments. But it's totally unrelated to the Toy Story series. It's more of just like where the whole story of like Buzz Lightyear, because you know they're all toys in that movie, like in Toy Story. So they all come from like this like franchise or whatever. So Buzz Lightyear is that franchise. And if you guys are like born in fucking 2007, 2008, I don't know, y'all are fucking young as fuck. There actually used to be a show based off of Buzz Lightyear. I forgot what it's called, but I used to watch that shit sometimes, and it was like chef's kiss. So seeing that franchise spin-off come back into like this 3D film, it was amazing. And the story was pretty solid, a wee bit predictable in my case, I think, but other than that, like if you wanna watch it, try it out. I think it is available on Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus. If not, then I don't know. But highly recommend that movie. But that's all the movies that I have seen so far since the last time we talked, because you know we're best friends all of a sudden. But boy, do I have a shit ton of music for you, because I love music and I can paint with music, but I can't really watch movies and shows while painting. Well, I could, but I won't pay as much attention. And a lot of the shows I watch are subbed, and I can't understand Korean or Japanese, whatever the fuck I'm watching, anime, K-dramas. Can't do that while painting, unfortunately. But with music, they can be singing to me in a whole different language, and I don't need to understand. Would it be nice to understand? Yeah, but I don't give a fuck. Music is a universal thing that anyone can enjoy, regardless of whether you can't understand it or can understand it. Anyways, this music recommendation is has a wide variety of music. First off is Frank Sinatra. I've been really into jazz lately. I guess I've always been into jazz, but like I've really been getting like more deep into it. And so with Frank Sinatra, I would say Nothing But the Best Remastered. So it's just like the best of his music, and it's such a vibe. Like I was writing this, this is not a script, but as I was writing like the list of stuff that I've watched and seen and listened to, I was jamming to some Frank Sinatra, and I was like, yo, this is a vibe. And then I immediately thought of V from BTS, because like he listens to like a lot of like jazz music, and I was like, y'all are hating on him. Homie's just vibing. I can understand why he's vibing. This music is a fucking bop, but recommend that. If you don't know who Frank Sinatra is, study up on your fucking music shit, because where have you been? Were you recently born? I don't know. Next album, I guess, is Boy of the Year by Warren Hugh. He is a rapper, but he is part of 88 Rising, and y'all know me. I fucking love 88 Rising. Keshi, what's his name? Rich Brian, Joji, a little bit of Nicki. Not the biggest fan of her music, but she does make good music. Boy of the Year. There's a lot of like hip hoppy. I don't know. It's kind of like also like an alternative type of album, I would say, because there's like some like rock elements within the album, which I fucking appreciate. Like I love when genres clash and they're able to do it so well, and I think Warren Hugh and his team, whoever produced this album, did a fucking phenomenal job. I wasn't actually trying. I noticed that he was going on tour in the fall, and I was like, I would love to see him live, and I would love to see him perform these songs live, but a bitch is broke and she has to start paying for rent, so we're gonna take a pass. But if the tickets happen to be cheap on that day, your girl might go. But yeah, highly recommend that song. I think the songs that I really loved were, I think it was called Jaded, and of course Boy of the Year. The next single that I recommend is You Ain't Gotta by Hojin. His music is like, his songs are always a vibe. I actually saw him the past Friday as like front row and everything, and like I drew him on the spot on a napkin, and I just handed it to him with my business card, and he was like, "Ooh, very professional, shoot your shot." I was like, yeah boy. So that was really like, that was a highlight of my night. And then after that I was just like vibing the whole night. I was like, yeah, love your music. Driving over 85. But check him out if you haven't. He I don't know if he's part of 88 Rising too, but I know he did perform in Head in the Clouds. You know, he's still upcoming artist, but I can tell when artists will make it big, and I think he has what it takes to become as big as he can be. Depending on how much commitment he puts into his stuff, which obviously I could tell from his performance and like his band, but he does, they do a phenomenal job. So support that bitch. Okay, great. Next one, oh my god, I think it's called, I watched this video like 2 or 3 months ago, and it was under like the Dingo Freestyle channel. It's like I think it's like under a Korean, I think Dingo's a Korean company, I don't know. But they do a lot of like live performances from like Korean artists, and I want to say his name is Shion. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but he came out with an EP, and when he performed in that YouTube channel, he had no music on any social or any music platform, which is so upsetting because he has this one song called like Brain? I don't know. Anyways, his music is phenomenal, and like his voice, in a way, it's unique. It's not something I've really heard, especially within like the K R&B community. He does like sing a lot in English. I think he is originally from Germany because he was in The Voice in Germany. It might have been Germany, it might have been a different country. I can't vividly remember, but his voice, it was phenomenal. And he is such a talented person. He actually did collaborate. He was featured in a song with Big Naughty in Hachiko, which is literally my favorite album, or my favorite song from Big Naughty's, like, I don't know if it's EP or album. His voice is so unique, like, and yeah, I'm just excited, like how because this is like the start of his like music career, like debut in a way. So can't wait to see more music from him. Next one is DPR Ian. It is Mood Swings Into Order, which is his second, his actually I think his first album, and he's going on tour with DPR Live in, I don't know if it's currently happening now or if it's gonna happen in September, but I am seeing them in September, so I'm very fucking excited. This whole album, it all has like different like tastes, vibes is a good word within each song. I think my favorite one is like I think it's called Ballroom Extravaganza. Whew, it's such a vibe. I was watching a interview with him talking about the album, and he was saying like, he did say that I think he may have written most of his songs in a manic state. I don't really know how bipolar works within like the human brain and all such things, but it's just crazy to just see his music progress and feel the emotions within each song that he has produced, sang, whatever he has done, and it's honestly phenomenal. I highly recommend it. And he did do like a little short film of each song on YouTube, and I believe he may have directed that himself because he does a lot of like film cinematography. I don't know how you say it. He does a lot of like film stuff. I know he's done he directed stuff for DPR Live for his music videos. Yeah, definitely recommend giving that a go. Next one is an oldie but a goodie, and it's Demon Youth by Punchinello. If you feel like punching something, this is the album, or this is the EP for you. I will tell you. When I was trying to get a commission done this past month, this album got me through. Like, he is like spitting bars. I want to say that he may have won one of the Show Me the Money seasons. I want to say that that's what happened. I know he was in the same season, I think, as Big Naughty. Oh my god, this album is such a, like, I wouldn't say like a vibe. It's more like a I want to fight someone type of vibe, which is sometimes I look for that type of music because I'm just, I want to be like, I want to have like energy, and that album gives me energy. Highly recommend it. Next one is Deadline by Lil Ghost. So yeah, I don't know how to describe his music, like alternative / rock, but mostly rock. Wide variety was in the album. I was showing my friend that album, and she was like, he kind of sounds like the Jonas Brothers. And I like gave it a close listen to, and I'm like, fuck, you're right. He is a Chinese rapper. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his actual name. This album is very like rocky type of alternative type of music. So definitely recommend giving him a go. I don't really listen to a lot of like Mandarin music, Chinese music, but this popped up on my Apple Music recommendation one day, and I was like, who is this? Then I listened to the rest of his album, and I was like, I fucks with this man. He makes good music, so recommend that shit. Next one is a really, really oldie, but a very, very goodie. If you guys like indie music, is he indie? He's like alternative indie rock. I don't know. This is 201 by the Black Skirts. I want to say no. Is he indie rock? I would say he's indie rock, but it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. It just gives me happy vibes or like sad vibes. Regardless, any of their music, I don't know if it's a one-man band or like a whole ass band, but highly recommended. I know RM from BTS actually shared like one of his recent songs that he did on Instagram, and I was like, hey yo, he got taste. But I recently got into them like back in the spring, like in March or something, and I was like, yo, this is a vibe. And then I just like purged all of his discography. Discography, is that how you say it? I fell in love. Like I would love to see them live with any chance I could get. Anyways, next song is literally just a single, and I have been waiting for this song to come out for a majority of the summer, and I didn't realize it came out in the beginning of August until like last week. But it is called Night Dancer by Imase. I think that's his name. He is a Japanese artist, and it's such a vibe. I first discovered this song through TikTok, and I was like, what is this fucking song? Why is it so like such a bop? So yeah, he would always like tease like the one chorus, and I was like, I can't wait till the song comes out, bro. This is gonna be my fucking vibe. And then I finally heard the full length version last week, and I just couldn't. That shit was on replay. I was like, whew. Highly recommend that song. If you're just trying to have like a good time, like dance in your bedroom or whatever, have a little concert, that's the song, bro. I will tell you right now, that is the song to dance to. And the last one is, come on, it's something that it's a bop. It's a bop. If you haven't heard of this song actually, then I guess that's a good thing, because like you're not consumed by social media, especially TikTok. But it's called, I don't want to pronounce it, Huang Sui Lin. It's a Vietnamese song, and it's by Si Tin. Like I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce these things, but highly, it's a good song. I'm pretty sure that majority of you may have heard of this at one point, whether it was like by chance or you were scrolling through TikTok. It was all like it was on my TikTok a shit ton of times. And then I finally looked it up. I finally found out who the artist was. I was like, oh, okay. So it was a sped up version, and then I listened to the normal version. I was like, it's still a bop. It's slower, but it's still a bop. So yeah, she's a Vietnamese singer, but I think I accidentally Googled this. I think she is also a Vietnamese actress. I don't know. I haven't really like deep dive down into like Vietnamese songs. The majority that I have listened to have always been ballad songs, which is not a bad thing, but I'm not really that into ballad music as I'd like to be. I think at one point I used to be into it, but all the Vietnamese songs that I've listened to have been like very slow. But if you have any recommendations for Vietnamese songs that are kind of like in this vibe, or in the vibes of all the music that I've listed previously, let me know down below, because I'm always down to listen to new music of like literally any country. There was actually one point where I was really into French music, like French pop. Bro, have you ever listened to French pop? That shit is fucking amazing. I would just listen to like playlists, so I don't know exactly a specific artist, but they're a vibe. And that's all I can say. But if you guys have any like music recommendations or movies or show recommendations, let me know down below and I'll give it a go. I'll watch it or I'll listen to it. I'm always down for new music, especially because I am someone who really enjoys listening to music. I'll always have music playing somewhere, somehow. Especially when I'm doing my illustration work and stuff. But yeah, I will hopefully catch y'all in the next video. I'm quite unsure as to whether or not I will post next week or upload next week because I am currently moving, so I have to get settled in. And that's all I got to say. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.